Hello and welcome. It's another Etch Play video with me, Adam Burt, and I'm joined by Dan Thomas. And
Hello.
We are checking out the Ascent. Dan, how are you doing?
I'm very good, thank you, Adam. And yourself?
I'm okay. So yeah, this is the Ascent. It's available on PC and Xbox. This here is footage from Xbox Series X. It's me playing, and you'll very quickly realise that I'm not very good at this game. But Dan, you've played this as well. What are your thoughts about the Ascent? What do you make of it so far?
I thoroughly liked it. I think it's an absolutely stunning game. Watching this now, I only played like the first level when I checked it out, and I definitely want to go back and play more of it.
Yeah. So it's got that sort of like, it's got kind of like an old school camera view, almost like a Diablo, like top down kind of thing. But then visually, it's obviously a lot richer than we maybe used to expecting from games of that caliber. Like, you just saw a really nice looking explosion in the background there. There's lots of nice lighting.
Yeah, I think that's what enamors me to it, is the visual fidelity on this kind of, let's say, kind of more old school style perspective. It's just kind of hits the nostalgia buttons, but also brings it into the modern era. All these cutscenes as well.
Here's my guy. He's got swooshy hair swept to one side. That's what I imagine the future will look like. Everyone with hair pushed over to one side. And it's got kind of like a, I guess, like a cyberpunk aesthetic to a degree. Like, there's tech upgrades, there's this horrible world that they live in where corporations run everything and everyone lives in like squalor. But it's quite an interesting little game world. And this launched on Game Pass day one, which is becoming more and more common, but is still a little bit unusual for some games to do. That's probably where you tried it as well, Dan, right? You played it on Game Pass?
Yeah, I think I actually played it on Steam.
Oh, okay.
I think I checked this out when I did a little run of streaming from the week's biggest selling games, and this was one of those. So I actually paid money for it whilst it was available on Game Pass.
Yeah. Financially sound.
That's me.
I like supporting the developers, exactly.
Exactly. But yeah, no, I do really really like this. I'm a big sci-fi fan, and yeah, it's nice.
All that sweet cash that popped out of that Papa Ferrell.
As you would expect.
So this isn't at the beginning of the game. It's basically the first mission, just a little way into it. The game does open up after this. You get like a bit more of a conversation trees with people, a bit more of a kind of branching, what mission do you want to do next, that kind of vibe once you get into the open world. But yeah, we just thought we'd show off a bit of it and have some fun. I didn't realise, and Dan, you told me this, I'm sure people might have noticed already, I didn't know you could barrel roll. And I'm not sure if the game told me you could and I just forgot, or if I just never learned that, but I spend a lot of time running away from enemies when diving or rolling would probably be the right thing to do.
So when you start, this is an interesting observation I've had. When you start a game and it opens up and you've got free reign, do you like to just follow the onboarding and the storyline that it's telling you to go, or do you just experiment in that little starting arena and figure out as much as you can?
Oh, I'm dead. I do what I'm told. I'm such an obedient little game player.
See, I'm 50-50. It depends on the style. Like if it's something like this where it's a little bit free reign, I'll experiment. If there's a clear and obvious storyline that it's trying to guide me down, I like to be obedient. But my wife is an absolute experimenter. She wants to be an expert from the minute we start, and it really agitates me when it's like, oh, look over there, there's a box. It's like, just go and open the box. But she's jumping and flipping. And
yeah, I'm not about that. I'll tell you what I worry as well. My fear is that if I just press a random button, that the button I press might be something like drop a grenade at your own feet. I'll just like be... I'm a bit worried that I'm going to like hurt myself if I...
But is that not the best way to learn? You'll only do that once.
No, I'd rather wait until the game told me it was safe to do it.
Yeah, don't do that in real life, folks.
So yeah, you get to see a bit of the visual aesthetic here, which is nice. We're down in like the sewers here, basically. You do get to go upstairs a few levels. I mean, the name kind of implies what you're doing here. You are making an ascent up from the depths of the depraved underworld of the future, up into the towering skyscrapers, eventually, of the rich and powerful.
And if I remember correctly, this is kind of like our job, isn't it? We're like, oh, you've got to go and clear out the pests in the basement of this megacorp.
I think your job is just that you're like a mechanic, but you just bring a gun because you're like, there's definitely going to be stuff down here. Like, my job is to hit things with a wrench, but there'll be stuff on the way that I have to shoot in the face, almost definitely.
This is the future we've got to look forward to.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm bored for this. This is why when Elon Musk's like, let's all go and live on Mars, I'm like, yeah, it doesn't sound that great to me. I know how that ends for me. That ends for me in some sort of Mars coal mine.
Yeah, but look at the haircut you get.
That's true. The haircut is cool. Here you go. You get to see a little bit of the world here. What would you do? What would you want your job to be in the future? You would want to be a mechanic and down in the sewers, or you want to be something a little bit more white collar? Probably white collar, right?
Yeah, I'd probably be a little bit more.
You want to be a manager?
Yeah, I'll be the coordinator of the sewer cleaners. An interesting question, yeah. If you were in this kind of future,
so you can see some of the areas are a lot more populated than.
What use would my skills be in this environment? Not very. They're barely of any use in today's environment.
Yeah, I do worry about it sometimes. Like sometimes I wonder about like the apocalypse, and if it happened, there's not going to be any need for websites. Like really, I should diversify my skills. I should learn how to figure out which plants in the woods you can eat, or how to build a house, or something.
Yeah.
Maybe if I'm lucky, when the world ends, there'll be just a friendly gang will take me in and treat me like a pet.
My job in the future is to be a gang pet. I like it. Maybe communication would be an interesting thing. Like, there's going to be a lot of perhaps less than happy people, and maybe they need a little bit of motivation.
Motivational speaker.
Yeah. Maybe I can do corporate communications. I'll focus on.
Yeah. So this is a bit of the hub world that you can explore, and it points you at people you can talk to progress the narrative or to do side missions and stuff like that. And yeah, really, you can see the way the lighting really comes together in these sorts of areas. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, there's a lot of little details that are just nice to explore, and I always like to try and give attention to those little side details that, you know, somebody has spent time on these and thought about it. Give them some attention and appreciation.
Yeah. Well, this is the Ascent, and we're going to throw it back to the studio. We'll see you on a future Etch Play video. Take care.
Bye.